From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 2nd, 2023. Intense and prolonged battles with terror group Hamas continued in Gaza today, and 4 more IDF casualties were announced, bringing the IDF death toll from the ground operation, which began Friday night, to 20. 33-year-old battalion commander Lieutenant Colonel Salman Habaka and 25-year-old Lieutenant Yuval Zilber were killed in Gaza. 20-year-old Staff Sergeant Yair Nefusi died of critical wounds he sustained in Gaza. And 29-year-old Sergeant First Class Elchanan Klein was shot and killed by Palestinian terrorists while driving home to a nav in Samaria, the West Bank, returning from Army Reserve duty. The ground operation in Gaza continues and pushes forward. The Times of Israel cited IDF spokesperson Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari telling a press conference this evening, "Our troops have completed the encirclement of Gaza City, the center of Hamas activity." Earlier today, the IDF said its fighters continued to wage fierce battles against Hamas terrorists, with approximately 130 terrorists eliminated earlier today, striking Hamas targets, including military headquarters used by senior Hamas officials, hitting those targets from the land, air, and sea. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant Colonel Herzog Halevi, in a statement today, said, "We are fighting in the name of the sanctity of life against an enemy who has engraved death and destruction on his flag. We are fighting for our right and that of future generations to live here safely and prosper in our homeland. This is our home. We have no other country." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited an IDF base today where he was briefed and met with elite brigade soldiers, whom he said are doing sacred work. The Prime Minister noted the successes of the ground operation, saying, "We are advancing. We also have losses, painful losses." But he said, "I want to make one thing clear." One of the soldiers said it just now, "Nothing will stop us," telling the troops the entire people of Israel stands behind you until victory. Rockets were fired from Gaza at southern and central Israel today. At least one made impact on a home in central Israel, causing extensive damage, but no injuries as the family was in a bomb shelter. Rocket barrages were also fired at northern Israel, including a slew of rockets at Kiryat, Shmona, causing a large fire. 2 people were injured, one moderately, one lightly. Hamas took credit for that attack with allied factions in southern Lebanon. The IDF struck Hezbollah terror targets in Lebanon in response. Israel's President Isaac Herzog met with the ambassadors today of Thailand, the Philippines, Tanzania, and Nepal, all of which have citizens murdered and taken hostage by terror group Hamas on October the 7th. The president said, "I ask to convey to their families that the state of Israel will do everything to return them, as it does for all taken captive." And in Jerusalem last night, Israeli singers Shiri Maimon and Tamir Grinberg, surrounded by the families of hostages taken by Hamas, performed the song "Coming Home," part of a Lights of Hope, a special light show initiated by the Jerusalem municipality, with some 240 rays of light, rays of hope, represented the hostages, illuminating the skies of Jerusalem in a call and a prayer for their safe and swift return.
Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they're fighting for my sake. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, November the 2nd. At 7 o'clock, In remarks on Shabbat following the October 7th massacre, IKAR's Rabbi Sharon Brous speaks of collective sorrow, solidarity, and the Jewish values that should guide us during this tragic time. At 7:30, we bring you the World Zionist Organization's marking of the First Zionist Congress that set the wheels in motion for the creation of the Jewish state. At 9, Emanuel Aronson Rund is on L'chaim. At 10, Chanan Weissman speaks to Yehuda Kurtzer about his recent trip to Israel, diaspora Jewry, and the Hamas-triggered war. And coming up next, I speak with Rabbi Menachem Creditor, just back from an emergency visit to Israel, alongside dozens of rabbis and Jewish leaders, meeting with evacuees and families of hostages, who speaks of why it is critical to show up for Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, November the 2nd, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.